Good evening to everyone. A warm welcome to my YouTube channel Learn to Win. I'm myself Dr.D.Kiruthika, Department of Commerce with Computer Application, Dr. S.N.S. College of Arts and Science. Today we are going to discuss about the next topic in our playlist auditing, that is developing an audit plan. As you all know, the audit plan is the specified guideline or the specific guideline to be followed when conducting an audit, and it helps the auditor obtain sufficient appropriate evidence for the circumstances, and also it helps to keep audit costs at a reasonable level, and it helps to avoid misunderstanding with the client. So we are able to understand that audit planning is helpful in various areas like obtaining the sufficient appropriate evidence, and then minimizing the cost, and then help to avoiding the misunderstanding. Okay, so with the client, for all these purpose we are going for the audit planning, that is we are giving a blue sketch of the work what we are going to do previously. Then this planning phase consists of many key steps which we have to follow. I have mentioned here with 5 more steps which you have to follow. One is to determine the audit subject, and then defining the audit objective, and setting the audit scope, perform pre-audit planning, and determine audit procedure and steps for data gathering. So I repeat 5 steps again. One is your determining audit subject, then define the audit objective, set audit scope, perform pre-audit planning, and determine audit procedure and steps for data gathering. Then the main purpose of the objective of the audit is to verify and establish that at a given date the balance sheet presents true and fair view of the financial position of the business and profit and loss account, and it gives the true and fair value of the profit or loss for the accounting period. So the 5 key areas which we have to test is: one is regarding your accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger, payroll, and also with the stocks and inventory. These are all the things which we are going to concentrate. And when an overall audit strategy and audit plan are maintained, the main documents of the planning of an audit of the financial statements. So overall audit strategy sets the scope, timing, and direction of the audit, and also may include the following matters. That is, first one is understanding the entity and its environment. Understanding the entity and its environment. Before developing an audit plan, auditors need to gain a comprehensive understanding of the audited entity and its operating environment. So this includes understanding the entity's industry, business model, business operation, internal control environment, regulatory requirements, and significant transactions. So the auditors may gather information through discussions with the management, reviewing the financial statements and internal documents, and conducting preliminary analytical procedures. And then next one is establishing the audit objectives. So audit objectives, we have to mention this as SMART. SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So SMART, to be very smart. Okay, based on the objectives of the entity and its environment, auditors establish audit objectives that guide the audit process. So these objectives define the scope and focus of the audit engagement, and serves as a basis for developing the audit procedures and assessing audit findings. The next one is identifying the risk and assessing materiality. So auditors identify and assess risk that may impact the achievement of the audit objectives. So this includes identifying inherent risk related to the nature of the entity's operation, control risk associated with deficiencies in internal controls, and reduction risk related to the effectiveness of the audit procedures. Then the auditors can also materiality thresholds to determine the significance of the potential misstatements in financial statements and guide the allocation of the audit resources. Then the next one is your developing audit procedures. Based on identified audit objectives and assessed risk, auditors develop audit procedure to address specific audit risks and achieve the audit objectives. So audit procedures, it may include substantive procedure to test the accuracy and completeness of the financial statement balances and transaction, as well as test of control to evaluate the effectiveness of the internal controls. So the auditors select appropriate audit procedures based on the nature, timing, and extent of audit evidence required to support their conclusion. Then allocating audit resources, including personnel, time, and budget, based on the assessed risk and materialities. This involves determining the level of audit testing and the extent of audit procedures required in high risk areas and allocating the resource efficiently to achieve audit objectives within the planned timeline and budget. The auditors may also consider the availability of the specialized skills or expertise required to address these specific audit risk. So allocating audit resources, then documenting the audit plan. The auditors document the audit plan, including the audit objectives, identified risk, and planned audit procedures and allocated resources. For the purpose of your audit plan, it serves as a roadmap for the audit engagement, providing a clear framework for auditors to execute the audit procedures effectively and communicate audit findings to the stakeholders. So the documentation, we may think it is not necessary, but the documentation of the audit plan also facilitate review, supervision, and quality control of the audit process. So that's all with your audit planning. Please kindly keep in touch. We will still be giving you with two more videos in your playlist regarding your auditing, which will be more useful for you to understand what is auditing, and you will be gaining with an in-depth knowledge about what is auditing. Okay, you need this has been created as a playlist for the purpose to understand in a proper way about your auditing purpose, process, procedures. Okay, and then identification of the risk, assessment of the risk, what does you mean by audit planning, what are the audit plans. So the various areas in your auditing, it has been covered for you very clearly, which will be more useful for you. Okay, thank you for your response. Thank you, and kindly keep in touch. Thank you.